Hello everyone, my name is Ampem-Darko. I am a first-year resident in anesthesiology and critical care medicine in Baltimore, Maryland. And today I just want to talk a little bit about what I wish I knew before I applied to medical school. In reality though, it's something I'm grateful I knew, and it fundamentally has to do with knowing about early assurance programs. See, I was fortunate enough in my scholarship program to find out as a senior in high school that it's an option to actually apply early to medical school. And this is something that I had no idea existed before I even got into. And so knowing this information ahead of time prepared me to really get into the mindset of, if I really want to become a doctor, is this something I want to consider? I think that this is something that is very specific to a very select group of people who already have that idea that they want to become doctors and take this route. I feel like it's somewhat unique, although it's not that uncommon. So I just thought I should share my experience, give you some ideas about what it was like for me specifically, and then give some honorable mentions to some programs I found out about that do something similar. So I went through the Flexmed program at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York City, and I was fortunate enough to be able to apply quite early, knowing ahead of time things that they would require. So the first thing is only sophomores in college. Yes, you heard that right. You apply as a sophomore in college to this program, and their main requirements are that you do 1 year of a college level science with a lab. It could be biology, physics, or chemistry. And it really is dealer's choice, but make sure that it's a contiguous course that you're taking. Once you knock that out of the park, you have to present your SATs and ACTs course because you don't have any standardized tests. And newsflash, they do not require the MCAT. They, however, do require that you maintain a reasonable GPA. None of your grades can fall below a B-, which to me, pretty reasonable since you're not taking the MCAT and medical school isn't exactly easy. So you do need to cultivate good habits. And finally, you do have to complete a bit of an honors thesis, some sort of culmination of your undergraduate work. For me, this really allowed me to have some peace of mind and pursue a minor. I was only one course shy of a major in Hispanic studies. On top of my neuroscience major, I studied abroad in Spain. I had these amazing experiences because I already knew that I was going to be a doctor once I got accepted. And this was truly life-changing for me. And I know that this is information that is out there and readily available to a lot of people. The only thing is, I realized that it isn't always known by someone who doesn't have a doctor in the family or know of anyone in the network. So I figured it would be a good idea to just put that information out there. In keeping with the theme of the rest of this video, I was just going to mention each program, who can apply, when you can apply, specific requirements, and any other special considerations. So we're going to just get right into it. The first program that I wanted to highlight is the Boston University Early Medical School Selection Program. So for them, they do not have any explicit GPA requirements like I had in my case. However, they do require the MCAT. There isn't a minimum score, but this is something to keep in mind that aiming for average is usually a very good bet. Secondly, they also focus on underrepresented minorities in medicine. And that is also something to be aware of if you're going to apply. Similar to my program, the requirement is that you have 1 year of biology with a lab or chemistry minimum. And finally, once you're accepted, you will spend the summers over at BU to kind of get up to speed and having these experiences over time so that you get to medical school relatively prepared compared to your peers. This isn't something that was required for me, but it's something that I can see would be incredibly beneficial to people who would like to get involved. And next up is the University at Buffalo SUNY School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. For them, they require that you be a student at one of these institutions: University of Buffalo, SUNY Buffalo State, DeUval College, Canisius College, Tougaloo College, and you have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. I believe that requirement is pretty similar across all these other programs, and I do believe you do have to have that to apply to most colleges as well. Once you accept the offer, it is binding, and that is exactly what it was for me as well with Flexmed. And personally, I believe it's a very fair trade-off. I think that having that certainty of path is something that freed me to explore so much that hindsight, I would 100% do it all over again. This program is actually focused on people who are underrepresented in medicine as well, and so that is also something to take into consideration. With their GPA requirements, they do have a requirement of an overall GPA of 3.5, and that requirement means you have to maintain that GPA year over year. Yes, they require the MCAT as well, but there isn't a specific requirement. However, I believe for them, their previous matriculants have been hovering around the 510 mark, which is a good score to aim for. They also do require that you present your SAT and that the combined score be about a 1400 or higher. A couple other honorable mentions. I will not get into the specifics of their requirements, but I believe they are worth checking out, include UC Riverside School of Medicine, University of Toledo College of Medicine, and University of Florida Medical Honors Program. There are a lot of programs like this all over the country. However, a lot of them do require that you be in their undergraduate institution, and that is why I left them off of this list. I will, however, include links in the description for you to follow through on any of these you may be interested in. And even if this video is not helpful to you at all, share it with one person you may know who may find this useful. I'm not going to ask you to like or subscribe, but I feel like if just one person is helped by any of this information here, then my work here is done. Thank you.